Hello Rick, this is just a little video for you so you get an idea of the cabinet and what I was talking about a little bit better. This is actually a real 80s cabinet. As you can see, it's still got wear from back in the day. We actually found it in a skip across the road. And what we've done is essentially the cabinet was plain, and I've actually stenciled all the artwork on the side which resembles the old game Defender. I don't know if you remember that one, but what I've done is sort of taken that style and changed it into this multi-game kind of theme, because Defender was a great game. I would have liked to have had a Defender machine, but being they're so expensive, I'm sure you already know that, decided to do it like that. So what I've really done is changed the header, stenciled the cabinet, and then a very good chippy friend of mine has changed this from a original just 2-player 2-button arrangement to the 2-player 6-button arrangement with the trackball. So what I'm going to do is just switch it on, the plug here, so you can see now all of a sudden the buttons are glowing, and we've got the header up here now glowing. Now what you actually have to do, now I'm sort of showing you this because it doesn't exactly function being custom made exactly the same as it would had you just a regular arcade machine. So what it is, we've got the coin door down here. Now if you look inside, don't know if the camera can see that, but just to the left, you can see the fan there, but just to the left of the fan, what you can see there, just the side of, is it's basically a reasonably old computer. So now we have to open this coin door and go in and just press the button to turn on the PC itself, and you can see that starting to boot up here. It's also decorated with LED lights underneath the control panel, just to make it look a little bit more, you know, 80s futuristic. You know how well that's picking that up. As you can see, we're just booting up Windows as a regular computer will do. At the moment, we're running this with a little computer, with a keyboard and mouse, just to help us. But this actually is only really for programming and so on, and that would be tucked back inside and only needed to be used really when it's either I'm adjusting something or just to boot the computer up. So I think there's a way that we can do this so we don't actually have to do this part of it, but just for the moment, so it boots directly to Hyperspin. So what we've got now is, this is just a decorated front end, the decorated homepage screen, like desktop screen. So what we're doing is we're just clicking on this, which launches Hyperspin. Now what it really is MAME is actually the original arcade machine games. They're not copies, they're actually the original game. Now what you can see is here is, this is what we call Hyperspin. Now we're taking all the original games from back in the 80s, 90s and so on, and we're making it into a list. So on the right here we've got a list of all the old games that you might remember. Just flicking through there, see some of the names. Hypersports, I don't know if you remember that. But right now there's about 175 games on this list. But what the idea is, you know, this could be adjusted down or up, really. We could take it down so there's only about 10 to 30 games possibly, or it could be taken up. In fact, the whole possibilities, it can actually run about 5,800 games, but of course that's a bit of a big thing to look for, so it might actually be better to have it smaller. So basically what this is doing is, this isn't the game itself, this is what they call a front end. So it's like a menu for your games. So right now we've got 175 games on here, and this is basically, on the right here, this is the menu for the games. So now what you do is, as I say, this doesn't quite work in the same way as a regular computer would. Classics there like Marble Madness, I don't know if you remember this. And as I say, it doesn't quite work in the same way as a regular arcade machine would, in the fact that obviously it plays a lot more games. Now what we have to do to kind of use this is these two buttons here. So really what we're doing is now we're in the front end here, and if say we go through and we just go through, and I'm just going to let that roll and pick something at random. I'll just show you what it involves to actually start a game. Now, once you're on this page, you actually have to press this button, which now launches the game. In that case it didn't. Okay, let's just try that again. There you see it's starting to launch the game. Now, this isn't, as I said before, this isn't a copy, this is actually the arcade game itself. So what we have to do at this point is just wiggle the joystick, and the actual game itself is now loading. So at this point now, then you actually would use it like a normal video game, in the sense of you would enter your coins, then I guess select your player. So just for now I've got the coins off here, so then we just hit one player and the actual game itself is actually now playing. You're actually, etc. So the upshot of all this is that we need, what I've got is this little sign here, which is going to sit here, which well, that's seeing that, it's in the back there.